John Maynard Keynes was a very brilliant man. He understood that governments spend money to provide good education, healthcare, infrastructure, that it inevitably leads to economic growth for the entire segment, that the business segment that creates these jobs does rely on the government for reliable infrastructure and healthcare and education, the kind of things that brings down crime, that makes it safe for them to operate. And who wants to be driving around broken bridges? Who wants to be delayed because of unreliable infrastructure? That's the brilliance of John Maynard Keynes. And federal unemployment needs to stay if during a time without unions that we need to give more leverage to the working people of this country, which is just over half of the population. And that is not what this country understands. They don't understand and they don't care about it because they only care about themselves. Me, screw the rest of you. That's not how a country survives at all. We are all in this together as the United States of America. We need everybody to be off with the adequate standard of living. We can't just go to the third world route of, let's have broken bridges, broken infrastructure, demagogues who benefit off of conspiracy, off of lack of education, for example. What am I talking about? Ever since Reagan, we just have stagnated. Profits, productivity have gone up. The libertarians told everybody during the time of NAFTA and Bill Clinton that this free market was going to spill the goods to everyone. And quite frankly, this is the same story that was told during Reagan. Give the tax cuts to the wealthy are burdened by the regulations. We're going to have the spillovers go down to the working people. Of course, it was always a purposeful plot for the wealthy to confiscate the wealth of this country and to make the masses dependent in the slave state to these capitalist overlords. Federal unemployment was meant to give this universal basic income, which I have my doubts about Andrew Yang. He wants universal basic income, but he says we can go ahead and gut every government program out there. I'm concerned about Andrew Yang being in the hands of the in the tech sector. He is well connected with it. Andrew Yang, universal basic income is needed, but he wants to go ahead and gut every government program out there. No doubt the libertarians will use the UBI as an excuse, as a precursor to get rid of every government program out there that's benefited working people since the days of FDR. The free market is not producing a living wage. The libertarians have sold the world a pot of lies. A pot of lies dating back to Reagan. That lifting the barriers, lifting the tariffs, it's going to raise your wage. You're going to be making more. Your production goes up. You're going to take home a bigger a check. And that is not what has happened since the days of Reagan. Right? We have a real Keynesian program at work. You facilitate spending, you facilitate the velocity of money. The more that money circulates, the more value that it has. If people have more money to spend, they go ahead, get rid of debt, go ahead, buy stuff from a couple other shops out there, a couple other businesses. What we're talking about is that if the people made more money, then the supply of customers goes up. And of course, McDonald's and Walmart and Amazon or Starbucks are never going to deal with a lack of customers. We are talking about small businesses. And I've talked about this before on this channel about why big business benefits the most by not raising the minimum wage. The small business benefits from raising the minimum wage. There are small businesses out there that believe in this corporate hogwash that Fox Business and these corporate media outlets have told them. Even MSNBC has asked Elizabeth Warren, are you going to pay for single payer health care, all that? Are you going to pay for it? Even Andrew Cuomo was saying the same kind of thing to Bernie Sanders on CNN. So, the government provides the living wage that the free market cannot. Union membership has gone down for decades. Unions have been proven to raise benefits and wages for the people. Union membership has gone down throughout the past couple of decades. People's wages have stagnated. They don't have the collective bargaining element against corporate America. That's what needs to change. People see that, hey, the government is giving me that livable wage that I deserve. Everyone talks about the business owner. They need to make money. They cut down their costs. They're doing whatever they can. Well, if that's being smart, then what's being smart is staying on unemployment, is saying, hey, pay me the living wage. Maybe I will apply for your job. Republicans are not the only ones that are at fault for this. Republican governors are just taking a page out of the play. Republican governors refuse to expand Medicare, Obamacare work. Likewise, Republican governors, what they're doing is, before the expiration date of September the 6th, the Republican governors are saying, hey, we can go ahead and gut federal unemployment. I don't know if this is about getting back at Biden, whereas it's about having business owners have people employed working for starvation wages. It's not really a way of getting back at Biden, like spreading misinformation about taking the vaccines. That's really what they're trying to do to hurt Biden at all costs. This is about protecting the interests of the business community. That's what it comes down to for the Republican Party, because they are the party of big business and every single possible donor out there. That's what separates the GOP from the Democrats. At least there's some Democrats that care, but then there are the Kirsten Sinemas of Arizona, God damn it, and Joe Manchin and 6 other millionaire senators who sit here and say, we shall not raise the minimum wage. Well, if we did raise the minimum wage to $15, we can end the federal unemployment program. The federal unemployment program ends when people apply for jobs knowing that the government is mandating them to pay a livable wage. The government has done a better job of dispersing the goods to the people versus the private businesses. Libertarians insist that the free market can produce a living wage and all that. We don't need no stinking government. Government did provide the living wage that should have gone up as productivity and the cost of living has gone up in this country. Very clear, you see that the aggregate demand of wages has gone up. We demand $15, $17 an hour. People are not going to settle for starvation wages. People are not going to settle for these wages when the government is taking care of them. People will certainly not settle for them if they are making less than what they were making pre-pandemic. The Republican Party wants to get rid of the 13th Amendment. They want to say that $11, $12, screw you. This guy needs his money. That's what the GOP is saying. This is what the 18 states have done that have tried to dismantle Joe Biden's federal unemployment. That, thank goodness, if it weren't for the Georgia runoffs, we would be in a crash right now. There's no doubt about it. 18 states plan to cancel jobless benefits. They are all Republican. Republican voters will continue to vote against their own best interests. Mississippi, end date June the 12th. Alabama, end date June the 17th. They're hurting their own people in those states. This is why the GOP is a death cult. Georgia voted Democrat. Thank goodness for African Americans. African Americans saved this country. They saved their fellow bigoted white people. But Georgia, Republican voter suppression laws. Georgia, June 26th. It ends. South Carolina, June the 30th, the most racist state in the United States of America. South Carolina, the Fort Sumter battle, seceding from the Union. You get it. South Carolina completely bent backwards. Tennessee canceling all federal programs. Arkansas, June 26th. Tennessee, July the 3rd. Missouri, June the 12th. Iowa, June the 12th. The people of Iowa have become racist and fearful of demographic changes. So Iowa has become more Republican because the white people are just going away from their FDR working class roots that the Democratic Party has given throughout the centuries. Republican state, North Carolina, June 19th, ending the program. South Dakota, June 26th, it ends the programs. Montana, June 27th, ending the programs. Wyoming, June 19th. Idaho, June 19th. Utah, June 26th. Arizona, July the 10th. Wow, thank goodness. Thank goodness Arizona is July, thank goodness. Who can forget about Joe Manchin State? Kentucky, West Virginia, September the 19th. That's okay. That's past September the 6th. So what? But if you want to end a worker shortage, the government is doing the job right. Now, what they're failing us, they don't raise the federal minimum wage $15 an hour. We won't be dealing with this. People will be happy to work for a living wage. You need a living wage. McDonald's has raised the wage to $15 an hour. It's working. The government is working. The government is working. It's doing what it's supposed to do, to give people a wage increase that they have not been getting. Government intervention works. Keynes is working. The Libertarians and the Republicans were wrong throughout the.
You met her today?
Oh yeah, I saw her this morning.
Nice gal, right? Nadia.
I will remember her name next time. Nadia.
It's I think it's Nivea. Nevia.
It was a conversation about sub jobs, whatever.
Yeah.
That's good. I'll speak to you in a moment right now.
Media. I think it's media.
Media. But you see, every single one of these states are Republican. The chart is there. I'm going to link the chart there. The source of this information, by the way, is from states' employment agencies. Want to fill up your jobs, pay a living wage. We need this program to continue. The Republicans are trying to obstruct the program so people do not get the help that they need. The leverage, most importantly, it's not the need or the relief. It is the leverage that they have over the employers in America paying starvation wages. Bernie Sanders is the reason why Walmart and Amazon and Target and these other companies are paying $15 an hour, because this is a popular movement in this country. Bernie Sanders single-handedly put the pressure on Walmart to pay $15 an hour. Amazon, that is. I have to go see about Walmart. Even these companies know that the cost of living has gone up. As long as the program continues, you know what? The employers can have to force to pay a living wage like they're doing right now. Now, what the Republican Party is trying to do is they're trying to end the programs early so the employer can go back to paying starvation wage. And that can't be good for the economy. That can't be good because people need money to be able to afford more goods, to be able to go out more, to go out to restaurants more. This is what the business industry doesn't think about. If they really understood true macroeconomic policy. But there you have it. The Democrats in the Senate have failed us. The GOP wins in 2028. It will be the fault of the corporate Democrats in the Senate for refusing to raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour. Income inequality will be one of the biggest reasons why a far-right fascist movement would happen in 2028. A libertarian movement, I think. A libertarian assault on the government by that time, I think, would be certainly possible. It couldn't have been done without corporate Democrats saying no to raising minimum wage. The Republican Party wants to transfer the leverage over from the workers to the business owners. This is laissez-faire libertarian government. Oh, everyone prosperous. Freedom, freedom, freedom is libertarians. Libertarian ideology is a bum, twisted ideology that benefits billionaires and wealthy people. How is that for big bad government giving you better federal unemployment? Let's say you lost your job that paid $60,000. Hard time finding a job. Republican Party wants to cut federal unemployment for you. They want you to go settle for these meager jobs out there. That's what they're doing right now. Seriously, Manny, enough is enough. We need to pass minimum wage in the Senate. If this was really a government for the people, this is what would have been done a long time ago. You're starting to see where government is working. You see how liberals in government are making it work. But then you're seeing where there's a few corporate fat cats in the party that are just holding this back from us. Of course, they want to end it. If you want to end the program, if you want to fill up your jobs, pay a living wage. Simple as that. It's not that complicated. Price elasticity is why the increase of the price is not going to be proportional to the wage increase. It's just not going to double or triple the price for a burger because of price elasticity. Studies have shown that you only need to raise it like a few cents or whatnot, 30 cents. That's how they account for the raise of wages. It's not going to bankrupt those companies because the country worked better in this way 40, 50 years ago. That's a long time ago. Shows you that the collapse of America didn't happen overnight. It certainly didn't happen under Trump. And, if Reagan were great, how come we got Trump? How come we got a bunch of angry white people? Because of Ronald Reagan, right? Because of Ronald Reagan, because of globalism, because of libertarians. But that's what they want. This is what they want. They go away from white nationalism under Trump, and then they go to this libertarian, screw you, big government bad, freedom, oh my God, destroy FDR every possible way, the golden era of this country. It was the 1933 to 1979 when Donald Trump said to make America great again. He was referring to the New Deal. He was referring to the GI Bill, that America actually gave a shit about veterans after World War II, that they don't give them adequate health care and job opportunities today. They don't give them money to go to school. They don't find the infrastructure. The infrastructure is out there. They don't pay a living wage. It's more real government bad, real regulations. It's a pretty messed up situation we're in.